Have you ever tried to explain something, but felt that words were simply not enough? Think about love, or the feeling of peace in nature. You can describe them, but the description never fully captures the experience. More than 2,000 years ago, the ancient Chinese sage Lao Tzu began his famous book, the Tao Te Ching. With this very idea, he opened with a mysterious statement: the greatest truth in the universe cannot truly be explained. And this is the first lesson of the Tao. Wisdom 1. The Tao cannot be defined. Lao Tzu begins by saying, the Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao. In simple words, the moment we try to define the ultimate truth of life, we limit it. Because the deepest forces of existence are far greater than language. Words are tools. They help us describe things like objects, places, or ideas. But the fundamental nature of the universe, the force that drives nature, change, and life itself, is beyond words. This invisible guiding principle is what Lao Tzu calls the Tao, the natural way of the universe. It is the silent order behind everything. Wisdom 2. The nameless source of everything. Lao Tzu then says something even more profound. Before heaven and earth existed, there was something without a name, a mysterious origin from which everything was born. When it has no name, it is the source of all existence. But when we give it a name, we begin to see it through human understanding. In this way, the Tao has two aspects: one that is mysterious and invisible, and another that appears through the world around us. The mountains, rivers, seasons, and cycles of life are all expressions of the same hidden source. Wisdom 3. Desire blocks understanding. Lao Tzu then introduces an important idea. He explains that the way we see the world depends on the state of our mind. When the mind is calm and free from endless desires, we begin to perceive the deeper mystery of life. But when the mind is full of cravings, we only notice the surface of things. Imagine looking into a lake. When the water is still, you can see clearly to the bottom. But when the water is disturbed, everything becomes blurry. The human mind works in the same way. A restless mind cannot see truth clearly. Wisdom 4. The visible and the invisible are one. Finally, Lao Tzu reveals a subtle but powerful idea. The visible world we experience and the invisible source behind it are not separate. They are simply different expressions of the same mystery. Everything we see in life, growth, change, creation, and decay, comes from this deeper principle. Understanding this connection is the beginning of wisdom. The first chapter of the Tao Te Ching teaches a simple but powerful truth. Not everything in life can be explained. Some truths must be experienced through awareness, silence, and a calm mind. When we stop trying to control everything with words and labels, we begin to see the deeper harmony of life. In the next chapter of the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu explains a surprising idea: that beauty exists because of ugliness, and strength exists because of weakness. In other words, opposites are what create balance in the universe. And understanding this balance changes the way we see the world.